Hello students, hope you all are doing well. Today we are going to start unit number 8, and from this unit we are going to get two marks very short concepts. So we need to prepare some 19 very short concepts. Out of those 19 you are going to get 2 very short concepts from unit number 8 in your economics section C. Now let us start with our first very short concept, that is effective demand. So what does it mean by effective demand? Let us see. It is a point where the aggregate demand is equals to aggregate supply. Aggregate means total. The meaning of aggregate is total. So where the aggregate demand is equals to the aggregate supply. In simple terms, the demand must be equal to the supply, then it is called as effective demand. It is a point where aggregate demand is equals to aggregate supply. In the economy will be in equilibrium. Equilibrium means a balanced position, means a stable position. So when our economy will be in a stable position, when the economy will achieve equilibrium, when the aggregate demand is equals to the aggregate supply. So at this point the economy will be in equilibrium. So this process where aggregate demand is equals to aggregate supply, that is termed as effective demand, and when it is equal, then only the economy will be in equilibrium. The second one is deficit budget. Deficit budget. So the budget in which the expenditure exceeds revenue. Deficit is nothing but it is a kind of loss. It is not a profit. Whenever our expenses are more than our incomes, it is termed as deficit budget. Revenue means income, expenditure means the money is going from you. So how much money you are spending is more when compared to how much money you are getting or you are earning. So in simple terms, whenever the expenditure exceeds the revenue, whenever the expenditure exceeds the revenue, it is termed as deficit budget. Now the third concept, vote on account. So vote on account is a budget which is presented by government. It is a kind of budget which is presented by our government. And what does it involve? It is not possible to present the full budget. So whenever it is not possible to perform the full budget, the government will prepare an interim budget. Interim budget means a budget for very few months. Whenever it is not possible to prepare a full budget, the government will prepare a budget for few months, which is called as vote on account. Then the next one, wage cut policy. What does the term say? Wage cut means the salary is getting deducted. Now what is this wage cut policy and who have formed it? According to A.C. Pigou, the name of the economist here is A.C. Pigou. So he made this wage cut policy. Now what does it say? According to A.C. Pigou, the decrease in unemployment, we need to reduce unemployment. Unemployment means the persons who are not finding any work to do, they are jobless. So in order to reduce the unemployment in our country, we must reduce the wages of laborers, or the wages of laborers must be reduced in order to make the unemployed get employed. In order to get the unemployed to employed, we need to reduce the wages of laborers. If I reduce the wages of laborers, the persons who are unemployed will get some work to do and they'll get employed. So this is the way how to reduce the unemployment in our country, that is through wage cut policy. It was started by Mr. A.C. Pigou. Then fifth concept, fiscal deficit. It is a point where the total revenue minus total expenditure plus market borrowings. So, how to find out fiscal deficit? The revenue minus expenditure plus market borrowings. Total revenue minus total expenditure. Total revenue minus total expenditure plus market borrowing. So, by applying this formula, you can get the fiscal deficit. The sixth concept, full employment. All the persons who are willing and able to work at existing wage rate are engaged in work. Means those who are willing and also they are able to do work at wage rate, means whatever salary they are saying, they are agreed to work at that wage rate and they are also engaged in work. Such kind of persons will come under full employment. The seventh concept, Say's law of market. According to this law, supply creates its own demand. What is the term here? Supply creates its own demand, means for every supply the demand will be same. Whenever the additional output is created by the factors of production. What are the factors of production? Land, labor, capital, organization. Whenever these factors of production produce some additional output, means extra output, extra final output, at that time what will happen? They receive income equivalent to the value of output, means how much output they have produced, that much of income they will receive. This is nothing but Say's law of market. This is actually based upon a name of economist, that is J.B. Say. The name of the economist is J.B. Say. So, he have proposed this law, so it gave a name as Say's law of market. According to this law, supply will create its own demand, and whenever the additional output is created by the factors of production, whatever the factors of production which are participating in the production, they will receive an income which is equal to the value of output. How much of output is produced? That much of income is received. By whom? By the factors of production. This is according to Say's law of market. So, today in this class we have discussed some 7 concepts from unit number 8. And remaining definitions or remaining concepts we are going to discuss in our part 2, that is the next class. Till that, please practice each and every definition for 5 times and please learn it for minimum 10 times. See you in the next class with some more interesting very short concepts. Till that, stay home, stay safe and always keep practicing.